daughter refused to invite me and my new husband to her wedding and accused me of trying to replace her father while calling me a cheater, so I finally told her the truth about her father. Hi, guys. I'm in a bit of a situation right now, and I'm being accused of ruining my daughter's wedding, with just 2 months to go. I, 55F, recently got married to my partner Barry, 61M, after dating for 1.5 years. And my daughter Linda, 29F, did not take it well. She was already very unhappy that I was dating so soon after my late husband, her father, passed away. And then, when we decided to get married, she completely flipped out on us. My late husband, Martin, passed away 3 years ago. He had been suffering from brain cancer for a year before that, and a few months after his diagnosis, he confessed something to me that shattered my marriage. He told me that he had been cheating on me for 12 years with one of my closest friends, and after the diagnosis, he decided to finally tell me about it because he believed that before he passed away, I should know the truth. He thought that his disease was karma for lying to me for so long and hurting me. So he came clean to me, and I had almost made up my mind that I was going to file for a divorce and leave him, but he begged me not to do that. He also begged me not to tell our daughter, because he wanted to spend some good time with her before he passed on, and he told me that after he passed away, the marriage would be dissolved anyway, and he had a point. Getting a divorce would be unnecessary, expensive and complicated, so I decided to stay. And a few months after his diagnosis, it became pretty clear that he was not going to survive. By the time he was diagnosed, the disease had already reached its advanced stages, and even though the doctors went on with his treatment to the best of their abilities, we knew that there was no saving him. Finally, when he passed on, I was mostly just relieved rather than sad, because now, I was free to live the way that I wanted to. That 1 year while he was suffering, and I had to stay with him, in spite of knowing that he had been cheating on me for more than a decade, it was pure pain for me. The only reason I stayed was because I knew that he was not going to survive, and he had begged me so much, it felt wrong to leave him like that. But we slept in separate rooms, and unless Linda was around, we didn't even speak to each other. Most nights, I could hear him speaking to my friend, his affair partner, on the phone. And on some days, she would even come over to see him, and I couldn't say anything. I just had to deal with it because I knew that he was not going to make it eventually. I was just doing all I could do to make it easier for a dying man to pass on in comfort. In his last few days, he had apologized to me profusely. He had cried a lot, and even I had, and he had told me that he really did not deserve me, and had said that after he was gone, I should tell Linda the truth about him and move on with my life. It was extremely complicated and painful for me, but I got through it somehow. And then about 1.5 years later, I met Barry through a couple of friends. They knew what had happened, they knew the truth, and they set me up with him and we hit it off. By then, I had still not found it in myself to tell the truth. Because honestly, I didn't even know where to begin. If I told her the truth, I would also have to tell her that for the longest time, while her father was suffering, I had known everything about him, but I had kept it from her and pretended that everything was normal. And I didn't know how to do it, so I just decided that maybe I would tell her after I started dating somebody else. Or maybe I wouldn't tell her at all, because I knew that she was really attached to her father, and I did not want to ruin that for her. Anyway, I started dating Barry, and for a couple of months, we kept it under wraps. Then, after we had been together for 4 months, we decided to finally tell her, and she did not take it well. She was very cold and closed off around Barry, and she had told me that she really expected me to wait a little more, out of respect for my marriage and honor my father by not going out with guys for at least a couple of more months. This happened the first time after she met Barry, and I thought that I would tell her the truth then, but just a couple of days later, she called me up before I could call her to tell her what I knew, and she told me that she was going away for a year for a work assignment and she was going to be staying in Singapore for the next year. It was an exciting opportunity, but I knew that she would also be pretty lonely there, since she was leaving everyone back home. So I decided to wait it out for a little longer, because I did not want to tell her something so huge right before she was about to start off on such a huge project. I did not want her to worry, so for the year that she was away, I didn't say anything. She knew that I was still dating Barry, and she made it very clear that she did not approve of it, but she didn't make a big deal of it either. About 4 months back, she finally returned, and I thought that maybe I would finally get to tell her, but then, her long-term boyfriend decided to propose to her. And she was so happy, I didn't have the heart to tell her, so yet again, I thought that I would wait. But then, 3 weeks ago, Barry told me that he wanted me to move in with him because he was not getting any younger. His wife had passed away many years back and his kids had their own lives, and he wanted to be with me. I gave it some thought for a couple of days, and then, it was I who suggested that maybe we could elope. I was sick of living my life on other people's terms anyway, and for once, I just wanted to do something that made me happy. So that's what we did, and last week, we got married in a church with just our friends attending. Afterwards, we decided that we could have a proper, bigger ceremony and reception later, but for now, just this would be enough. I didn't invite my daughter or anybody else from the family, because then, I knew that there would be a lot of questions regarding my ex, and since nobody else knew the truth apart from my friends and Barry, I didn't want to deal with that right now. Anyway, 2 days after that, I finally called Linda up, with the intention of telling her about my marriage to Barry and also to rip off the band-aid once and for all, and to tell her the truth about her father. So I called her up, and as soon as I told her about my wedding to Barry, she flipped out at me and told me that I had cheated on her father, because this was as good as that, since he was barely cold in the grave, and I was already out here, getting with other men, and she said that it was disgusting and that she never wanted to speak to me. She told me that she did not want me at her wedding and neither did she want my new husband, because clearly, I was just trying to replace her dad, and she told me that nobody would ever be able to do that, so it was pointless to try. She told me that I was a pathetic person and said that she couldn't believe that her father had ever loved somebody like me, who was willing to replace him in a heartbeat. I really took offense at that, and even though I had initially planned on breaking it to her gently, I couldn't bother with that. So I told her everything that I knew about her father, all about his affair, everything that I had done for him in his last few days, and why exactly I hadn't been able to tell her the truth for so long, because I had always put her feelings before my end. But clearly, she couldn't care less about my feelings, so now I didn't feel the need to spare her either. I told her exactly what kind of stuff his father got up to and how I had forgiven him, and now, just because I was living my life on my terms, she had a problem with it. I told her that after all the horrible things she had said to me, I didn't even want to attend her wedding, and then I hung up. After that, we didn't speak for a couple of days, and then, her fiancé's parents called me up 2 days ago, and they started blaming me for everything that was happening. They told me that instead of trying to spare her feelings, I should have just been honest with her right from the start, because she's a grown woman and she could have handled it, but now, she's miserable and has fallen into pieces, emotionally, and they told me that I am ruining her wedding, because it's just 2 months away, but right now, she's in no state to get married because she has been miserable ever since she last spoke to me. And I can't help but think that maybe this is my fault, that maybe I screwed things up by trying to go out of my way to protect her feelings. I just don't know what to think anymore. Do you guys think I am the here for lying to my daughter? Edit. Okay, so since you guys have a lot of questions, here it is. My daughter was always closer to her father as compared to me. I don't know what it was, they were just very similar in nature right from when she was a child, and she got along with him more. I never thought it was something that I should take offense at. I was happy that they loved each other so much. And I loved my husband, too, so as long as we were happy, I didn't care who she loved more. For her dad has always been the epitome of everything good, and that's why I had hesitated for so long before telling her the truth about him, because I did not want to ruin that for her. I lost my dad when I was around the same age, and I know that I would have hated being told anything that would make me think of him in anything less than in a fond way. So I was just trying to protect her. I guess I went a little too far and I shouldn't have lied to her for so long. But it was really not my intention to hurt her. I did not want to make her miserable. She's my daughter, for the love of God. Of course I want her to be happy, but I also want myself to be happy. And so far, I've always done everything to please everyone else around me. Just for once, I wanted to be happy, and I wanted her to be happy for me as well. I didn't think that it was too much to ask for, and I know it might sound like I'm playing the victim right now, but I'm just really exhausted. I love my daughter, I always have, and I did not want our relationship to get this bad, but in the past couple of months, things have really deteriorated. And I knew that she was not going to accept the fact that I had married Barry. I knew that she was going to be very upset about it, which is why I had tried to avoid the drama and had eloped with him. In no way does that indicate that I don't love her. I obviously do, and I always will, but I think I should be allowed to love myself too. Update 1. Hi, everyone. It's been 1 week since I last posted, and I get what everyone has had to say about the situation. I understand everybody's opinions and emotions regarding this, and I'm trying to understand Linda's point of view as well. I can totally understand why she feels betrayed by me and her father, especially, and I'm giving her space right now. I don't need to engage with her fiancé's parents. I'm not answerable to them. We have hardly even interacted much in the past. I've met them a couple of times over the past 3 years, and they have seemed to be nice enough people, but right now, I really don't think that this is any of their business. And I don't think that I'm ruining the wedding at all. It is still 2 months away, and it's not like my daughter has said that she's going to cancel everything and mope for the rest of her life. She's learned something that has changed everything that she knew about her father, and me, as well, so naturally, it's going to take her some time to process all of it and come back to normal. It's a huge deal. She needs time to accept things and deal with it. And whatever it is, my daughter and I are perfectly capable of dealing with it on our own. I really don't think that it is anybody else's place, especially theirs, to accuse me of anything at all. They are not even concerned about my daughter's mental health. They are just worried that they might lose the deposit if she decides to cancel the wedding. And once again, let me remind you people, she has never even said anything of the sort. She's simply taking her time, and right now, she's upset and wants to be left alone, and that's why they have made it such a big deal. I'm saying this because a couple of days after the phone call with them, my daughter's fiancé called me up and he told me that he was really sorry about whatever his parents had said to me recently. He told me that he has spoken to Linda and he's trying to get her to talk to me, but right now, she just doesn't want to talk to anyone. Every single time that he has tried to bring up the situation with me with her, she has either refused to talk about it or she has just said that she's tired and she does not want to discuss this. So I can guess that she's probably going through a lot, because Linda is not one of those people who avoids difficult topics. But here, she's actively trying to not talk about this, because she knows that it's complicated. So I know that she's probably very upset and doesn't know how to feel about any of this. And I don't blame her. I don't know how to feel about any of this right now either. Barry and I obviously feel terrible about everything that's happening. And we do think that I could have dealt with the situation better, but it's happened now. I just hope that you talk to me soon and we can deal with the situation together. Because I really feel like this is something that we can solve. I don't think that either of us are inherently or decidedly wrong in this situation. It's just that the situation is not as black and white, and so, it's hard to say who is right and who's wrong here. There isn't one answer for that, and I just want her to understand that, so we can talk about it and get through this. Because no matter what happens, she is still my daughter, and I do love her a lot. I don't want to lose my relationship with her, especially after all that I have done just to protect her feelings. It would be quite counterproductive. It's been very tough for me as well for the past couple of years to try and spare her feelings, and keep such secrets from her. But I had to do it, because I knew that I was doing it for her sake, and now, since the truth has come out, I don't want all that to go to waste. So I really truly hope that she understands my position as well and tries to get in touch with me soon enough. Right now, I will give her space, because I think that she needs that the most. I can understand that she is still trying to process everything, so she can take her time for that, but in a few weeks, if she doesn't reach out to me first, then I guess I might. Until then, I am going to keep in touch with her fiancé because I do want to keep a check on her. I don't want her to fall apart emotionally. I'm not going to engage with her fiancé's parents, though, because like I said, they don't know anything about our relationship, and this is not their place to say anything. Update 2. Hi, so it's been 2 weeks since my daughter and I last spoke. Ever since, I have just kept in touch with her fiancé, and he's been keeping me updated on everything that's going on with her. She had been refusing to talk about me or discuss anything related to her family for the past couple of days, like I had mentioned in my last update, but today, I don't know what change came over her, she finally decided to speak about me to her fiancé. She told him that she would like to talk to me, because she had been thinking about it a lot, and obviously, this situation was not as easy to untangle as she had believed to be initially. And she wanted to get down to the bottom of some things, so she wanted to talk to me. He passed on that message to me, and we decided to meet for lunch a couple of hours ago. I invited her home, and since Barry thought that this would be a discussion that would be better off between the two of us, he decided to make himself scarce by going out with a couple of friends while she would be here. I personally appreciated that, but when Linda showed up, she did take note of this fact that Barry was not at home. And she told me that he did not need to leave on her account, because ultimately, this was his house, and we could lead our lives the way we wanted to. We did not need to worry about her judging us. That's what she said right in the beginning, and that pretty much set the tone of the meeting. After we were seated and made some small talk about her and how the wedding prep was coming along, she told me that she was really sorry about how she had behaved, and she told me that she had been immature all along. She said that even if I hadn't told her what I knew, she still didn't have an excuse to behave like that. She told me that she had just been feeling very defensive, because she couldn't explain the fact why I was with Barry all of a sudden, when it hadn't even been that long ever since her dad had passed away. And of course, she had taken that pretty hard when that had happened. They had been very close and it had been a huge loss for her, and I could understand that. Which is pretty much why I had kept this side of her father a secret for so long from her, because I did not want to hurt her. And she told me that while she really appreciated what I had done for her, she really wished that I would have been more honest and forthcoming with her, because that would have saved both of us a lot of pain and heartache, and I have to say, I agree. She told me for the past 2 weeks, she had been thinking about how she had behaved with me, when all along, I had been trying to protect her. She said that she was really sorry about all of it, and even though she couldn't take any of it back, she wanted me to know that now that she knew the truth, things were going to be different. Obviously, she was still very hurt about what her father had done, and nothing could possibly make her think of him in the same way that she used to think of him all along. She would definitely try to still remember him fondly, but she was never going to be able to forget the truth. And him having passed away did not change the fact that what he had done to me was terrible. While we were discussing that, I kind of teared up, and she comforted me, and it was a huge deal for me because given the events in the recent past, I thought that this was never even going to happen. But when I knew that she was sitting right beside me, and she was telling me that everything was going to be all right, I believed her wholeheartedly. Both of us ended up crying, and she told me that she was going to try and meet with Barry and be a little more accepting of him as well, because she had treated him very badly as well. All because she was confused, and as an adult, that was not an excuse for how she had behaved. After all, I was my own person, and I had my own identity apart from being her mother as well, and she told me that she was really happy that I had chosen to go ahead and live my life the way I wanted to instead of waiting for her permission or whatever. And it really made me happy that finally, she had come to that conclusion on her own. Because it's not like I did not enjoy being a mother, I loved it, it was my favorite thing in the world. But ultimately, I really was my one person, I had my own wishes, and I was more than a mother as well. That was all I wanted her to say, right from the beginning, and now that she finally said it, I was over the moon. We discussed a couple of more things, and I told her that she had made the right choice by getting married to her fiancé, because he was a really wonderful guy and she should hold on to him. We talked for a little more, and then she left, and we parted on a good note. She also told me that she would obviously love for me to be at the wedding and she would ask her future in-laws to apologize to me as well, because they had no right to be teeing like that, especially when the situation didn't call for them to get involved. She didn't say anything to them, and her fiancé had merely made the mistake of telling them what had happened, but even then, they had no right to call me up and say all that to me. Nobody had asked them to do that, and in the past 2 weeks, she had not spoken to them even once because she was pretty annoyed with them for jumping to their own conclusions. She told me that she would speak to them about this and get them to apologize, but I told her that it was not necessary. If they didn't want to do it, that was completely fine. I just didn't want her to stress herself out. After all, I don't care much about what they thought or whatever they said. It has no importance to me, and that's the same page. It should be with her. They are her fiancé's parents, and they are getting married pretty soon, so there's no need for her to get involved in this mess. She just needs to focus on her wedding and what's coming up for her, and that's it. She seemed a little indecisive about that, but in the end, she didn't say much about it before leaving. Anyway, I'm just happy that we were able to sort things out, and I'm really looking forward to being a part of her wedding. In fact, after she's done with all that, I'm planning on hosting a little ceremony and reception of my own. But of course, that's going to be way later, probably after she comes back from her honeymoon. We even discussed it today, and she's very happy for me, and we had a great time after a very long time. I really do think that I could have saved both of us a lot of heartache if I had just been honest with her right from the beginning instead of trying to spare her feelings or whatever. Because telling her the truth has made me feel a lot lighter, and it has made her realize what had been happening in the past couple of years as well. She finally has an explanation, and I finally have the freedom that I had been trying to get for myself for so long. Anyway, I'm just happy that we were able to talk it out and get back on good terms. Maybe this will bring us even closer than we used to be before, or at least I hope it will. Update 3. Hey, everyone. It's been a few months since my last update. And next week, Linda will be getting married. She's thrilled, and I've been an active part of the wedding prep during the last minute, and it's been very exciting. We have been bonding, and it's been going great. She's gotten to know me a lot better, not just as her mother, but as who I really am as a person apart from being her mother. And I think I've gotten to know her a lot better too, because a lot of things have changed in the past couple of years, after my ex-husband passed away. But we had become very distant in the recent few years, so I think we are getting to know each other all over again, and it's going pretty well. Her fiancé's parents did not apologize to me, even though Linda had told them that she was not happy with what they had done. But they said that they had done what they thought was important and they were not going to make any apologies for that. So things with them are a little tense right now, but neither Linda nor her fiancé care about it. They are just happy that they are going to be married soon, and they can't seem to care about anything else, and I'm pretty happy for them as well. I don't care if her fiancé's parents apologize to me or not, because like I said, they are not very important to me. But I think it's sweet that she tried even though it created problems for her. Anyway, nothing can ruin their big day. I know that because I see nothing but love between the two of them, and it's so pure and beautiful that nobody can get in the way of it. She has asked me to walk her down the aisle, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it as the happiest woman on earth. Barry is going to be there too, and she and Linda seem to be getting along pretty well as well. So I think my family is coming together, and I couldn't be happier.